Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Chastity Buckley. I'm the host of Midnight R&B Edition, homage to Midnight Love BET. I give all my flowers to all my R&B artists, singers, and songwriters and producers. And today is the day, guys. I can't believe on this Saturday, on this beautiful, beautiful Saturday, I have the legend himself, six-time Grammy nominated, not the Houston Texans. Now, see, you trying to already look. I'm from Louisiana, and don't come for us. Look,
No, hey, I'm. Everybody knows I'm gonna always rep the H. Every
you,
picture,
you
people gonna see that H.
You better represent, but thank you so much. I have six-time Grammy nominated producer, Multiplatinum, extraordinaire, a legend in the game, been 20 plus. The one, the only, from Houston's finest, D Bottz. How are you today?
I am good. I am good. I am. Pardon my drive and everybody watching. I am going to celebrate my baby sister graduating from college. So,
Oh,
yeah, when we booked this date, she hadn't sent us the time for the graduation, so it kind of coincided. So we got an hour, but we good. We good. So I'm on the
oh,
way there. All right,
oh, thank
look,
what?
we gonna make it happen. We multitask. You dig?
Right, right.
Thank you
well,
for having me. Thank you for all the
oh.
love you've shown, and I just appreciate it. So we're gonna have a good time.
I'm excited. Well, today is the 20th anniversary of Natalie's self-titled debut album. D-Bots, like, how do you, and congratulations to your sister that's graduating today. That is a milestone. I think it's so amazing that everything has happened to you. With your sister, your family. I think it's just the most beautiful thing. Like, how do you feel today? It made 20 years that y'all dropped this album, and this iconic song just kind of changed everything in 2005.
Man, when you brought it to me, I didn't even know it had been 20 years. I ain't gonna even lie.
What? Oh my God. Are you
I,
serious?
I didn't. I mean, time just flies. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, man, I can remember the day that I heard the
Mm.
first demo, and so it's a different feeling. It's two
Yeah.
decades worth of the song that's still relevant,
Come
still relevant.
let these people know. You better let these people know because people be trying to sleep on. I'm like, like I'm gonna get into the interview and we're gonna talk deep about it. But before we do get started, I wanna make sure, I wanna let people know who you are as an artist, pretty much artist, because you do artistry and not even that you produce, and I know you do a little songwriting. But I wanted to ask you, like, Device, how was it like your introduction to the music industry? Like, were you more of like church foundation background and then you jumped into the R&B world? Like, how did you get your start in music and who were your influences?
Well, I started playing drums at 4 years old. I was 4 years old when I first started playing the drums.
Right.
My dad was a quartet singer here in Houston, Texas. Both
Mm.
my grandmothers played piano. My grandfather was a guitar player, so I was born into it. You know what I
Mm.
mean? The Bottz lineage is a group of singers, musicians, and
Yeah.
so I got it honestly. And
Mm.
so, like I said, I started playing the drums at 4. I had my first gig at 6 years old, playing
Mm.
on the drums. Yes, for my dad's group. And from there, I started playing the piano around 18, 19. That's when I started really focusing on that. And I kind of got away from the drums, and I
Mm.
graduated to keys.
Wow. So, do you think your influences like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, like where you get those melody and beats from? Are you like a Prince fan? Like, because I hear a lot of like your instrumentation in the music that you do for a lot of these artists. So, are you like influenced by these like producers, or pretty much trying to like craft your artistry into different lanes and genres?
My influences was definitely Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, because I used to jam Prince, Morris Day,
Come on.
Janet, of course. Janet,
Oh, we lost for a little
Dark
bit.
Child,
Mhm.
um, Quincy Jones. These were people that once I started getting into music, I kind of just tried to pattern myself after them and after
Yeah.
some of the things they already did music wise. And so I'm a musical buffet. So I took from everybody. You know what I mean? Because everybody knows my favorite genre is actually country.
What?
It
Houston,
surprises.
Houston.
It is my best friend. Shout out to my best friend of almost 40 years, James Bills. He is a country boy from Iola, Texas. So growing
Oh
up,
wow.
he exposed me to country, and I fell in love. And people are always
Mm,
like, "Well, why do you like country?" I'm like, they tell the best stories.
they do.
Songwriting is about telling stories, and they tell. By the time you get through listening to a country song, you either drunk, horny, or depressed. You might be all of them,
Right.
but they
Okay.
tell great stories. So
Yep.
I listened to everything growing up. My mom was a big influence, man. Saturday morning we was a typical black household. She throwing on Whitney, Freddie, Luther, whatever, and we cleaning up. So my musical base started right there. I just listened to a lot of
Right.
music.
Right. That's amazing. And I can kind of hear it too as well. And I know you were saying that, at this time when you were getting in the musical craft, you had got your first production sound or your beats from Scarface. So I want to know, how did that transition happen? How did you get with Scarface? I mean, the icon himself. Like, how did you get in the influence of, like, now we're getting into the music industry? Was that like your first introduction to music, like in the music industry, or how did that all get started?
And the infamous Scarface track. I met Scarface while working at Guitar Center.
Hmm.
I was in the back room. I wish Moshe, because I got to talk about Moshe because I got to tie him into all of this too. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't even working on a track. Mind you, I was a drummer who just started playing keys. I didn't know
Right.
about production. I knew nothing about
Right.
being a producer. I knew about playing
Hmm.
drums and I knew about learning keys. And so this
Okay.
new this new keyboard had come out called the Korg Triton. And I'm in the back playing on the Korg Triton. I didn't know what I was making a beat per se. And so here comes Scarface. Scarface comes in and he's at the front and he comes walking to the back. He like, how much you want for that track? And I'm looking around like, who you talking to? You talking to me? And he's like, yeah. He's like, how much you want for that track? I'm like, what track? Like, I'm having like a nerd moment. I'm just working on this keyboard that I'm learning through Guitar Center. And he's like, man, no bull. He told me I give you $500 for that track right now.
Okay.
I say, what? I hadn't sold a track. I hadn't done
Yeah.
none of that. But for him, and of course I know who Face is. For him to do that, I was like, bet. Now here's the crazy part. This is where
Uh-oh.
me and Face developed our relationship because
Right.
I didn't have the keyboard he wanted the track from. I had
What?
just literally started working at Guitar Center. So Guitar
Mm.
Center loaned me the keyboard for 24 hours to go to Scarface's house. I get to Scarface's house. Neither one of us know how to operate the keyboard to put it in the Pro Tools.
Wait a minute. What? Oh
Neither
my
one of
God.
us, bruh. Neither one. We both were sitting there looking at each other. He's like, "You don't know?" I was like, "Man, I just got hired like a month ago, bruh. I don't know this yet." And so he said, "You drink?" I said, "Yeah, I drink." He said, "Man, we're gonna get some Hennessy and we're gonna figure this out." And that's what we. It took us 4 hours to dump like 8 tracks.
Oh my God. Well, Boss, I have a question. Like you said, so you're saying that it, like, you didn't know the pros to say, but do you remember the sound that you did when you dad did the keyboard and everything?
If I got in front of the keyboard, I could remember some of it. Yeah, yeah. But
Wow, that's
it
talent.
it was a journey. That first track with Scarface. So shout out to Face though, because
Yeah,
he could have been a butthole. You know what I'm saying? He could have been a
so could have.
butthole, and but he was cool, and so me and him just got
Mm.
cool from there.
And what year was this? Like 99, 2000? Like y'all when the new
Two
millennium and
thousand.
all this?
That's 2000.
Wow.
Yep, two
So,
thousand.
so do you feel that I think that motivation for Scarface is trusting you with the sound that he wanted for his album? Like, do you feel like they gave you a lot of confidence, or do you feel like they kind of sparked you into becoming the producer that you are now?
Um, it was a hype moment and it was a heartbreak moment at the same time. This was a
Hmm.
learning part for me because me and Scarface worked on this track and it ain't even make the album.
What?
It ain't
Oh
even
my
make the. So
gosh.
here I am. This before social media was super big. I'm telling all
Yeah.
my people, oh, I got a track with Face coming out. Me and Face doing whoop de whoop whoop. Then the album drops. I ain't on the album.
Oh my God.
So this was my first. I didn't know the business.
Yeah.
I done
Business.
went to his house. We done had Hennessy. Brother done ordered some pizza. I'm on the album. Man, that album came out. I forgot what album it was. Whatever came out,
Right.
and I wasn't on the album. I was
Oh
not.
my.
I was not. I was heartbroken. That was my
Oh
first little,
yeah.
interest in. But it was working with Face. as like my first client was kind of crazy. So
Wow.
it was a learning experience, but it was dope. Shout out to Face, man. He's one of the dopest, coolest, humblest people you'll ever meet in the game.
But now, okay, so did you ever do another track with Face? Because I think you have in your catalog. You did something with him,
I
didn't you?
did. I did.
Yep.
I did. I made his intro to his album. I made his intro to
Uh-oh.
his album. He did another album in, I want to say, 04, 05. I
Five.
got
Yeah.
the intro. Me and Big Time. Shout out to
Yeah,
my
yeah, I
boy
did.
Big Time. Me and Big Time did. It's called the intro.
And how did it feel, even though you got that second time around? And then, because, I mean, if you think about it, it ties into what we're going to talk about today, the 20th anniversary with Natalie. So, do you feel that, like, kind of really gives you up? Like, do you think that something was about to come your way once now you got to get started with Scarface, and then it's like, yeah, I'm on to something?
Well, between that time, I had already started making placements because I signed a
Hmm.
production deal. Yeah, right after Guitar Center in 2002, I signed a production deal with Rap A Lot. And I
Ooh,
left Guitar Center. Look, that one check, I was like,
bye.
I'll see y'all when I see y'all, GC. Love you, but I'm out.
Okay, that's right. You took a leap
Yeah.
of faith. You took a leap
Yeah.
of faith.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so, my testimony is I ain't punched the clock since, 2002. That's when I left Guitar.
Ooh. 20 plus years, and that's why you still here. So with that motivation, now you gearing off to do your thing. Is this how you got with Mike Jones and all the stuff like that? Like, how did that kind of get started? Like, so now I guess now we could say 2004, 2005. So now you get started. How did that kind of come about? You now in rap? Like, have you
Well,
always like been an influence to rap, or did you like R&B more?
it was working with my boy Big Time. I got to give him a lot of credit
Mhm.
for a lot of the placements I end up getting at Rap A Lot, because he would bring me to Rap A Lot studios,
Yeah.
and I would hang around Face and Big Mike
Mm.
and Zero. Zero,
Hey!
Zero, yeah. My first couple of big placements were with Zero, doing
Yeah.
platinum, doing another song, doing Happy Feelings.
Yep.
Zero was signed to Rap A Lot, so that was who I was working with. I was going to the compound. Shout out to International Red. Shout out to
Mm.
Big Chief. They're my people over at Rap A Lot. Rhonda Prince, of course, Big J, Jay Prince. Them were my people, man. And so
Mm.
they showed me nothing but love. Many people have many testimonies about Rap A Lot. Mine is all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. So I got to start, and I got to get in the studio with UTP. UTP is the people that did Know Your Clap with Juvenile.
Hey,
Um,
yo.
yeah, Big Mike, the Ghetto
Yeah.
Twins. I got to work. Yes, all anybody that was in Rap A Lot on Rap A Lot between 2002 to 2005, I got to work with. So
Mm.
yeah, it was dope. It was dope. Rap A Lot for life. You know what I'm saying?
Oh. And if you think about it too, Boss, it's dope that you said that because if you notice that music was changing at the time, it's like the South took over. You remember, if we're talking about in this era, we're like, this is Nelly, this is Lil Jon and East Side Boys, Atlanta, and then all of a sudden Texas finna just take over 2005. And I started thinking too, and I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, four was the year of Atlanta. We know Usher, Lil Jon, it was huge. But then I started realizing in 2005 when I did my research, I'm like, wait a minute, Texas had a lot of big names. And I didn't think until I started, and I was like, wait a minute, Box is really in history books 405 because we're talking about Mike Jones, Slim Thug Power. You got y'all coming, Beyonce coming out with Check on it. You know, she's the biggest thing, is high fisheries. But then all of a sudden you got the Latin R&B finna make a move. And I'm like, wait a minute, what is R&B and Latin? Not saying nothing against them, like how is this kind of coming together? And it's kind of perfect because now you teamed up with this young, cheerleader from the Houston Rockets, like coming out with a swing. And I'm like, wait a minute, who is she? And then when I found out she came from Houston, I'm like, wait a minute, Houston is making a wave. So I wanted to ask you at this time, like, how did you get introduced to Natalie with that beautiful, beautiful sound? And I'm forever grateful for you because if it wasn't for you with this album, my late friend who actually passed away would be tomorrow, 16 years since she's passed. She's the reason why I got this album. I want to ask you, how was it making that classic song Going Crazy? And like, were you and Natalie in the studio together? Like, how did that all come about?
So here's the story I was kind of telling you in the
Okay.
waiting room. The way the song came about, uh, I did this track. It was initially a gospel artist track, It was
Okay, it
literally a
sounds like.
gospel artist track. My boy, one of my road dogs, Moshe Davenport. I credited him with this whole record. I'm gonna tell you why. Because me and Moshe met at Guitar Center, and we
Mm,
immediately clicked because Moshe was into the sound, I was into the production, and so
yeah.
we just formed a partnership. So much so, Moshe was like my first manager.
Mm,
And so I was like, he was like, man, I'm gonna go to work in the studio with this new artist named Natalie. And I was like, who the hell is Natalie? You know what I'm saying? Well, she's a Rockets power dancer.
mm,
And she's doing, I'm like, well, what's she doing? He's like, some R&B pop, your specialty. So
mm.
I give him a couple of tracks. Like when anybody asks me for a beat CD or whatever, I'm gonna give you like 5. I'm not gonna overload you. And so
Right.
I gave him the 5 tracks, and I remember him like maybe a week later telling me
Mm.
like, "Yo, they wrote this song to your record," and I was like, "Okay, cool." And then they recorded it, and Guardian came in and did a few little tricks and trucks to the song. And next thing you know, the song was done. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So my point
What?
with this whole thing is I didn't work with Natalie in the studio. And here is the crazy part about me and Natalie's relationship.
What?
We've never met.
Stop playing, bro. Stop, bro. Stop playing. Stop playing.
We
Now you
have
now this.
to this day, if Natalie's on here, she will tell you we've never met. We've been cool on MySpace. We've been cool on Facebook. We've been cool on Instagram. We've never met.
So, bro, it's the 20th anniversary. Are y'all going to meet?
Oh, we gotta meet. I mean, like we got to. Like we need to do. We definitely need to because
Yeah.
Natalie put me in a whole look. I was working the Houston scene at the time,
Yeah.
and then when I did this with Natalie, it opened up the floodgates. Like the
What?
floodgate. It changed the trajectory of my career. It opened up the floodgate.
Oh,
So I am grateful to her. I'm grateful to Charles Chavez, Latium. I'm grateful to
yeah.
my boy DJ T Gray. It was a family affair. It really was because they I didn't record the album. I didn't record. I didn't mix it. I just gave them a beat CD, and here we are.
What?
Yes,
Well,
yes.
Bottz, you know what's so amazing about that song? It's so beautiful and it's so timeless. And Lord, I'm not going to cry because I don't want to cry on this episode because it means a lot to me because Lord, I'm sorry, my best friend, she passed away 4 years after the album dropped. And it's crazy because she had told me, she was like, I got this song, Natalie, and she was like, you want to listen to it? I'm like, girl, who is she? And so it's crazy because I had heard it back in some '05. I loved it, but after that it kind of faded to me. And she was like, you need to listen to this girl, listen to it. Bro, when I say that album is a no skip album, that album is a no skip album. It is timeless. And I feel like because you lead the song with her, I think it was perfect, perfect, perfect for Going Crazy. Because think about it. You going against Mariah Carey, We Belong Together. You going against who was this at the time? Pretty Ricky. Like these are people that's coming out on fire making waves. And I feel like, and I'm gonna be honest with you, and I've always said this, I feel like you really are one of the pioneers of social media. You and Natalie. And y'all don't understand that. Not saying it as a negative way. I think you don't know how big your impact is. Because for people to think that you and Natalie, that song created the open doors for MySpace, that speaks volumes. And for people to call her the MySpace queen, it makes perfect sense because I feel like you open the doors for Cassie, Paula Deanna. If we're gonna go there in that lane, you really, really made MySpace for what it is today. Because at first I didn't know about MySpace till 2006 because of Katrina. So I feel like when Going Crazy did that for her, everybody and their mama had it on their page, and I'm like, how in the hell D-Bots got this ballad on here and it's talking about heartbreak, but everybody that was so young by related to this day. And I wanted to tell you, like, how do you feel that you made a cultural phenomenon at that time? Do you feel like you are a pioneer for the social media wave that we have today?
Well, it and I said it earlier that the song is
Mm,
still relevant because um, once people find out I produced the record, because I wouldn't. I've never been like a rah rah shish boom bar for
yeah,
myself type guy. So a lot.
yeah.
I'm not just going up to people. I produce Natalie Going Crazy. I produce
I,
Natalie. And even even one
I
of
would.
one of my boys' wife, she had
Yeah.
to do a whole story. She was like, "Yo, this was the song of my childhood. Like,
Yeah.
this,
Yes.
I didn't know you produced that." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yes." She was like, "Oh my God, I was in middle school crying behind this song." And so
Yeah.
I do remember it being on MySpace because one, we used to get paid for all them downloads and streams. You know what I'm saying? And the ringtones, it was
Yeah.
on so many. I would be no bullcorn. I would be out somewhere in Houston, and their phone would ring, and my song would be playing, and I would just be like,
Oh.
"That's a ringtone," and then I get that ass kept check, be like, "Yeah, that's a ringtone." Uh, yes. So shout out to Universal
Oh.
too, because Universal,
Yeah.
man, they still paying us from that record. But
Catch it.
she did. I will say,
Yeah.
she was big on MySpace. Like you could go
Woo.
so many, and like you said earlier, the Latin community, they love that song so much. We made a Spanish version.
That part, that sounds
I
that's
made
money,
one
money.
look. I made one song and got two songs, two placements. Me Faltas
Catch
two.
it.
Me Faltas too. They did a Spanish version, and Natalie spit that joint in Spanish. So
Yeah.
it hit big too. We had the
Yeah.
states buzzing, and we had Mexico and
Mm.
overseas buzzing. So she definitely pioneered that MySpace age.
Oh
She
yeah.
was on everybody page, and it felt
Yes.
good because I'm like, I did this. I'm on thousands of people's page. And of course,
Oh.
social media ain't what it is today. It's not what it is today. So
Yeah.
it was just MySpace. You couldn't really like screen record or
Yeah.
save and all this. But no, I would literally be scrolling MySpace and the song is on, song is on, the song is on. I'd be like, wow. Like,
Yeah.
wow. So yeah, she did. Her and
Yeah.
Soldier Boy.
There you go. Exactly. And I feel like I said, Boss, like I said, I feel like she was those. She came in with those new R&B girls, like I said, with Cassie and Paula Deanna. Like she made those girls have a way, and I think the sound is like I feel like with you and Natalie, y'all have this Timon and Aaliyah thing going on. Even though, like I said, you never met,
Never
but
met.
certain words, like certain sounds, fit certain people. And I feel like
Right.
to me, she's like our 2000s Paula Abdul because she
Right.
comes from that cheerleading world, and then she's coming to the music scene. And when you see girls like that, people be thinking like, oh, you have to have this voice and all this stuff like that. But really, it just takes, I think, words and resonate. And she wrote the hell out of a good song. So for her to do that and still resonate 20 years later, that goes to show you it's still timeless.
And the funny part about this, Natalie will tell y'all, Natalie was a rapper.
Right? And she right.
She she was not a singer. She was not finna sit up there and just say. Now she can hold a tune. Let's not take anything away from her. Beautiful voice, beautiful
Yeah.
tone, but she's not finna flat foot sing you. You're not gonna pass out like you at a Fantasia or something like that. She was a
Right.
rapper. She was a rapper. T.
Wow.
Gray told me he was like, "Yo, Natalie a rapper. We got her in here singing." I was like, "Okay,
Chris was too. Chris Brown too. Like, and think about it, you and Chris Brown, all y'all coming at the same time.
same time."
Music. Oh five, you know what's so crazy about it? I really, it's nothing against oh five because, like I said, for me, it's always like a tug of war with that year because of Katrina. But I started realizing oh five, it really was a sound that shift because once that Atlanta stuff had died down, Houston, Texas came in and just swooped up. I'm like, dang, like we was just getting that crunk and beat. And it's like y'all kind of brought it back to the chop and screw era and all that stuff like that. And even with that, it's just so many Texas people just came in and made a way in oh five. Do you feel like, are you proud to say that oh five was a year of Texas?
I am, and I'm gonna tell you why. We end up going. I went with Mike Jones to the BET Awards the next year, and we were in LA, and I was so proud when we walked down any street in LA. You saw Paul
Yeah.
Wall's poster, you saw Slim Thug, you saw Mike Jones. I was like, damn, Houston, like this. That was our year. That was our year. Like
Yep. Yes, it
we,
was.
you know what I mean? We
Yep.
had a 2 or 3 year run where we had some hits, we had some movement, major moves in this industry, and so yes, man, I'm very proud. I'm the
Mm.
contribution I was able to do, and it's a classic hit. You know,
Come, come on.
it's gonna outlast me. You know what I'm saying? And my
Oh.
grandkids, my sons, and my daughters are able to. Man, my dad did that, and if I never get another number one Billboard record,
Yeah.
I got one. You know what I mean? So I'm proud of it.
Oh, and like I said, about you go, Lord, don't make me cry, Lord. I won't cry. But it's like if it wasn't for my friend who passed away, Oh Lord! And 4 years after that album dropped, it just go to show you, y'all meant something to her, for her to even think about Natalie, for her to do that for her, and then unfortunately, she would lose her life the day after the album dropped. 4 years after that, it goes to show you some connection we have with her and this album. It means a lot, and we forever thank you for that. Thank you so much for
I
that.
mean, look, I am glad. I didn't know so many people. I'm gonna tell you, I was on Clubhouse.
Mhm.
If you're not on Clubhouse, people need to get on Clubhouse. It'll really change your life and your career.
Yeah.
And I was in a room, and they were giving me my flowers. And this guy
Aw.
named Brandon, he did a room. He still has a house called R&B, the R&B house, and he played Natalie, Going Crazy. Now this is a room full of black people. I'm gonna be honest. So in my mind, I'm like, I don't think they're gonna know this record.
Shit.
He pushed mute on the song. It had to be about 150 people in there singing the song, and I was just like,
Told you. Yes.
I was like, dang, people really fool with the record like that. So
Yes, indeed.
I mean, I know how big it was. I seen it on the charts. Like I still got
Mm.
photographs of it being number one in 26 cities. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And so I knew that, but it just
Yeah.
I didn't think people knew about the record like that. I mean, they were singing the word for word, movements, background, and I was just like, wow, people really. And they was like, we didn't know you did that record. You don't come in here and act like you did the record. And I'm like, what am I really supposed to say? I did. Hey, I'm D Bottz. I did Going Crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that. That just ain't me. So yeah, I'm proud. And for your friend,
Yeah.
the legacy that she left with you was a record.
Don't make me cry. Oh Lord, don't make me cry about it.
And
Ooh.
that's crazy. And
Yeah.
when I saw your post today, it
Yeah.
just you never know what songs do for people. You just never know.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
remember reading comments on people's MySpace how somebody broke up behind and they're playing this song. No, but no, seriously. Like I'm
Yeah.
reading,
Yeah.
I'm reading all these little teenagers just going through it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going crazy. I want to
Yeah.
be. I mean, I never forget. I saw a chick on MySpace. She did the old school date, the time,
Yeah.
and what song was playing.
And she did going
it,
crazy.
it was
Okay.
going crazy, and she
Telling you.
wrote out the song to the dude,
That
and I'm
part.
in I'm in tears. She's like, "Ever since the day you went away,
It
you
went
left me
away,
lonely."
left me lonely cold. Okay. And by the way, and you know what's crazy? And even though unfortunately my friend she's passed away, I take those lyrics now and look at it as a passing to her life. So when somebody has passed away, it does. When you listen to those lyrics, it's like wow, it does relate to real life. And I lost him, y'all. Hold on, he's coming back. I'm sorry, yeah, it clicked off a little bit, but I was saying that it relates to real life, and for my friend to pass, and I listen to Natalie's words, it's like she is gone. I don't have her anymore, and it's you don't know. And when that person does pass away, sometimes it will make you go crazy. Life happens when
Right,
people do pass away. So for me, even though it's love lost and, people go through heartbreak, I think for me, it's about, losing a friend and, you may not have them no more and just cherish life while it is or just cherish the memory. So by the time I forever think, tomorrow be 16 years since she's passed, but I know she'd be like, oh my God, Natalie. I'm like, yeah, you the one that gave me this whole album and I wore it out, Bottz. But you know what? I'm forever grateful because now I can forever tie her with this and you guys for what you did for the legacy of that. And it's just amazing. So thank you so much. But I want to get back. So okay, so now this album did go well. The song went gold. I wish the album went triple platinum in my house. So I wanted to ask you, like, it went number 13 and it did go number one on the charts. Like, how did you feel? I guess after everything went, and then you said your life went on overdrive. Like you worked with Maya, Fantasia. Like, how did those placements started after they, like you said, your door, like floodgates opened up? What happened after '05?
Well, I learned a lot about the music business
Mm.
through this because like I didn't know there were certain people who watch the charts to see who produced certain records. So I'm
Hmm.
getting calls from Eddie F, who's over what
Yeah.
was what are them girls who used to do uh the Lumi D song? I can't even remember the dun, dun,
Oh,
dun.
Nina Sky?
Yeah, them. So I ended up flying to New York to have meetings with all these people who knew who I was because of this record. And
Wow.
so, yeah, it totally it blew me away. And I had a great friend, Teron Mitchell. He called himself Eddie Kane. He was kind of my mentor at the time, and he
Yeah.
took me to New York, and he took me to these meetings to kind of show, like, man, you done made it. Like, you walk in the office. We went into J Records, and I announced myself. Yeah, hey, I'm D Bottz. Oh, you did the Natalie record. Oh, okay.
That part.
I'm looking at pictures of Alicia Keys. This y'all breadwinner right now, and y'all
Yeah.
knowing who I am. A little
Mm.
old, hard head from Houston, Texas. Come on, man. So it started opening crazy doors.
Yeah.
I was able to go work with Scott Storch, and I worked with Nelly Furtado, and I worked with Method Man, and I got to go to Miami and be in the Hit Factory, and
Mm.
it opened up crazy doors, man. And so I'm forever grateful for this one record, because I up until
Um,
then I hadn't had a national hit. I had some hits in Houston, and I had some regional hits, but this was worldwide, and so it
okay.
changed. It changed. Yeah, it changed the trajectory of my career with one record, and so
Yeah.
it just opened up doors and made me. And I was able to make some great relationships that I still have. Bruce Carbone, who used to be the vice president of Universal, he's over at Def Jam now.
Wow.
My lawyer, man, just I met some dope people, and so it opened up the
Um,
doors. And so yeah, you're right. When you get that hit, you kind of got that clout. I
yeah.
go to Atlanta and I meet with Fantasia team, and they like, yeah, he got the number one record right now. Da 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 da. We need to get him in the studio. So I'm in the studio with Fantasia, and then
How was
I end up
that?
eating. Oh man, Fantasia can vocally do everything,
Come
and as a producer who can play, I love somebody who can vocally do everything, because anything I played, she did.
what?
And yeah, she can sing. I mean,
How was
of course,
Maya?
Maya. If I tell you the story how I met Maya, it's really really funny. Maya had come to Houston. She was doing a joint venture with Lil J, with Rap A Lot, with his
Right.
son's Young Empire label. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think they signed her for like one or two, maybe mixtapes or whatever. And so Maya
Yeah.
had come off a tour with her manager, Dollar Bill. Shout out to Dollar Bill. That's my manager
Mm-hmm.
too now.
That's
And
dope.
she was like, I need the hottest producers in Houston to send me some beats. I want to work them. So Dollar hits me up. He's like, Bottz, I got Maya coming in tomorrow. Give me like your hottest. So I told you I usually do 5. I sent her 7, because I'm like, no, she gonna,
Dang.
I'm a, I'm a force feed her. She gonna like one of these tracks. I'm getting
That
on the
part.
Maya, and he said he played it for her, and she's like, listen, skip through all of them. And like, no, give me somebody else. But he said he knew she had just got off the road. She had a long flight. She wasn't in her right mind. He was like, Bottz, you sent some heat. I'm like, cool. So he said the very next morning, after she got a night's rest, and
Mm.
she asked him, like, you got me some more music? He said he played my CD right back again. And he said the very first track, she was like, I need to be in the studio with that producer. Here's the
What?
crazy part. I'm in Atlanta. I get a call from Dollar Bill. Hey, pull up to the studio. Maya working on 2 of your records tonight. I'm in Atlanta. I'm like, but it's Maya. I get on the
Right.
phone with Air. This is how I'm dating myself. I get on the phone with AirTran. AirTran was the spirit back in the day. I say, yo, I
Right.
need a one way back home. I wasn't supposed to come home for like 3 days. I'm like, no, I need to be home tonight. I got to get home tonight. So I catch
Right.
me a flight back home, and I walk in the studio, and Maya's literally in the booth doing something on one of my beats, and she kind of went off on. I know she hate when I tell this story. She kind of went off on a run she tried to do. So I hit the talk back, and I say, hey, that ain't how that run go. It go, and I sung the run, and like she was behind the mic, and she kind of did like, who is this telling me da 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 da? So she sung it, and then she looked at me and smiled. So she comes out the booth. Now this is, I remember one of your questions was like, you made it. This was kind
Right.
of one of the moments. She comes out the booth, and she's like, well, who do I have the pleasure of meeting who's correcting me in the booth? I say, oh, I'm D Bottz. I kid you not. Mike Mo can tell you, C Mo can tell you, and her cousin Terrell could tell you. Maya jumped up and down and jumped in my arm. Oh my God, D-Bottz, I love your beats. And I was just like,
Oh, that's
I
right,
was like, it was
Bottz.
a surreal moment.
Yeah.
And me and Maya been locked ever since. We started working on her album. Me and Maya used to go to the gym. We used to go out to eat. We like that's my dog. Like we cool. And
So she real cool people. Like she down to earth,
she
cool.
just one of them. Text me for my
Wow.
birthday, text me on Father's Day, text me on Christmas. We cool. We cool. Like that's little sis. That's little
Th-
sis. So
That's dope.
yeah, that's how I got to work with Maya. And so,
Mm.
I got her single with Bun B and that
Oh,
joint
that
just
shit was fire. I like
yeah,
that. I heard that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Show me something. And that was a whole surreal moment. Like I knew I made it with the Natalie shit, but when Maya, I'm working with Maya.
That
Come
part.
on, man. What? Maya, like
And
whoa,
that's the one who
Marmalade.
started that. Her and Aaliyah started that with the light voices with them hard beats. Perfect. It was
Yeah.
matched. That's why I said you can get with those girls with those light voices. That's why I said with Natalie, it worked. It
Yeah.
works.
Oh, I'm a
Because some people
producer
can't.
vocals. I'm a producer vocals. That's what a lot of singers love about me. I'm a vocal producer. I'm going. If you can hold a tune, I'm gonna make some magic.
Yeah. That Bottz, I'm telling you, man, that's why I'm like, oh, it just we need people like that. And I feel like, I have a question. Do you feel like now since we in like 2025, do you think it's different? How things is not the same when you were doing vocal producer versus with now?
Well, social media and some people's
Mhm.
success have made a lot of people think they could do it themselves.
Yeah.
So now I don't have to go to a studio. I don't have to hire a producer. I can get online, give me some free beats, and just go for what I know in my closet.
New. Mm.
And I tell people like this. I say when y'all watch the Grammys, hopefully y'all watch the whole Grammys and not just your favorite part. When these people when these people are winning these awards for these one songs, how many people y'all see going up there for the award? Oh,
Yeah.
it'd be like 5 or 6 or 7. Cause it takes a team.
Team.
It takes a producer. It takes a vocal producer. It takes a great engineer. It takes a great songwriter. But you
Yep.
have so many artists, they don't want people to write them the song. I want to do the beat. And I'm like, y'all missing it.
Yeah.
It's you can't be a island in this business and think you're gonna be successful. You gotta have a team.
That's
And
right.
so these new age artists and producers, they see the success of others and they just think, oh, I can do that too, without
Mm-mm.
taking, we got people in the music business who don't know the business of music.
You better
They so
catch it.
because you got a little producer who from the hood may have lucked up and got him a record and it went
That
big.
part.
And oh, I can do that too. I can do that too. I can make beats. And it's a difference between a beat maker and a producer. That's a
Oh,
whole nother.
catch
That's a whole nother. We're not gonna do that because people get
you.
mad. The beat makers
Mm-mm.
get mad at me when I talk about that. And not mad at them, but we don't have a lot of real producers now.
No, we don't. Mm-mm.
They just go for what they know, and so it's sad because
Yeah.
I talked about this on my clubhouse. I say we don't have artists and producers who do it for the love anymore,
They don't.
and you could tell by the records.
Ugh. They don't.
They're trying. I have never sat down and tried to do a certain type of beat. It's when I sit down, I got a blank canvas. Whatever I feel, that's what's gonna come out. Whatever I'm thinking, that's what's gonna come out. Now I've had people be like, "Can you give me a so and so type beat?" I get that, but I don't sit down and say, "Oh, I want to do a beat like so and so." I'm gonna do a
Yeah,
Bottz beat. I don't care about so and so.
that's right.
I don't want to be the next so and so. I'm the only Bottz. So I'm gonna do what I do, and I'm gonna do it, in my lane, and I stay in my lane. But we have so many traffic jams because you got all these artists and producers wanting to sound like this person, want to be like
Yeah,
this person. And I think I can do it because so and so did it. I can do beats like them, and I can sing like them, and I can rap like them. And so the game is just watered down, and it's
it's
watered
very
down.
water.
It is watered down with a bunch of nothings. Sorry, y'all white,
Catch it. Facts.
but
That's
that's
why
what
we
we
have the
get.
same sound.
That's where
Mm-mm-mm.
everything is popcorn now. We don't have no authentic meat and potatoes. We just got popcorn. You know.
It's not the same. Oh my God.
Right.
So, Boss, I want to ask you. So, since you made all these beautiful timeless hits, and well, Going Crazy will forever be a part of my childhood and my heart. I wanted to ask you, what is the key to making a hit record? When you unlock that door, what is the key? And if you do know that, what is your favorite hit from your catalog? I know you got a lot
I
of
kind of
babies,
no, I
but
kind of
you got
said it.
one.
Like it takes a
Hmm.
team.
Yeah.
When you have a producer and a songwriter and a vocal coach and assistant producer, and you have a vibe. I tell people I make music off of vibe. I don't have.
Hmm.
I'm not technical. Oh well, you can't put a hi hat here. Or you can't. No, I vibe. But if you ever see me doing a video live in the studio, you're gonna see my head about to break. My neck. Everybody be like, "Boy, I'm vibing. This is how
Yeah.
I do it." And so I think the vibe, the it's got to be a family environment. I ain't saying you got to be friends with the people you're doing the records with, but
Right.
it's got to be a cohesiveness, and it's got to be a one. People on one accord. We all got one goal. We trying to make a hit record.
Yeah.
And if you got somebody on that team who ain't a part of that goal, it ain't part of their vision, you're not. It's not gonna happen. And so I
Exactly.
gave you all the names for Natalie. That was a team effort. Without a Moshe bringing my beat to T Gray, there would never been a T Gray taking it to Natalie. Without
Preach.
Guardian putting some extra flavor on there, would have not. So it's a team. That's what makes a
Yeah.
hit record. A team, an island person. We don't have those kind of records no more. Back in the day, Stevie Wonder could go in the studio by himself and make a record, and we still got
Preach.
the phenomenons, but music ain't there like that no more. So you gonna
It's
need a
not.
team. That's what's gonna make you a hit. My favorite hit.
Uh-oh.
Everybody asked me that question. My favorite hit. I'm not gonna lie. It's
Mm.
Platinum by Zero.
Ah! Boz, let me tell you, when I was in high school, I remember one year, I think the RTC had to go to Houston for something, and all they kept talking about was zero, zero, zero. I'm like, yo, dang, like that's all we talked about in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Like, because I went to Woodland High School, it was like an all white kind of mixed or whatever. But
Yeah.
when they was talking about Houston, all they talked about was zero. Like people love him, and they love that. Everything y'all did back then. Till this day, people still love it. Mind you, we were 13 and 14 talking about zero.
Think about the message of the song. I'm going
Yeah.
platinum this time. I think you gotta respect you're gonna give me all my nickels, all my dimes. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Zero spit that, man. That's my favorite. And it's really because of the vibe of the song and the message.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
going platinum. Before I even had a platinum plaque, I'm going platinum. And so I
That
love the
part.
mindset, I love the vibe of the record, and I love what he's spitting. So
Um,
go listen to
but
Zero Platinum. It's inspirational.
but I have a question though. Why do you think zero relates to so many young kids and everybody to this day? Everybody's like, we're all adults now, but why do you think he resonated at that time until this day? Like, why do a lot of young people do love him?
Ghetto.
No, actually, yes. Yes.
My boy,
Yeah,
hey,
you know,
Ro is
facts.
ghetto.
I agree.
Working with
Yes.
him in the studio, he say some of the most ghettoest stuff, but it be dope. And so you just Zero ghetto. He ghetto as hell. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And you just relate. 70% of blacks grew up in the hood, and he just hood,
I agree.
and he
Yeah.
he don't change. He don't change.
Um,
He's him all
we
day,
need,
every day,
ooh,
and we
Lord,
love it. Yeah, we
we
love it.
we need to keep some zeros in this industry because I mean we gotta have some zeros. If you don't, it's just like people just get like lost in the shuffle and just be like on some other stuff. And but that's crazy. Like I'm telling you guys, everybody we love him in Baton Rouge. Like people love him down here. Like it's crazy. To this day, they still love him.
Yeah, Zero's biggest fan base is in Missouri. Well, it used to be. I can't say
What?
the demographic. Yeah, he used to go to Kansas all the time. They love him up there.
Oh my God! Well, they show love me in Louisiana because that's all they talked about back in high school. I'm like zero. All y'all talk about is like that's all they talked about back in the day, bro. Like he in the South, we really do respect, like especially Houston. Like all that stuff that y'all did back then, we like bow down to that because we love the family dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Houston, New Orleans, you know how it is, Baton Rouge, all that's like right there next to like we cousins, you know. And for people like to resonate with zero, that just shows you a lot of stuff. So I mean, I'm
I
excited
love it.
about that.
I love it. I'm going platinum. That's my favorite hit. I could play. Look, I could play that every morning because it's
Mhm.
inspirational and the
Yeah.
message. and Zero can spit. We all know that. And
Oh
so
yeah, what?
that hook though, that hook, and then that chord Triton is what I'm playing with the fan and the fan and the fan and it. That was my
Talent.
signature back in the day. So yeah, that's my favorite hit.
Mm,
I had
come
way
on.
bigger records, but that's my favorite. I ain't gonna lie.
But that goes to show you at the end of the day, hits don't matter to you. You're connected with music. And a lot of people can't like because everybody say, well, my biggest hit is like my favorite hit. I'm like, well, sometimes it could be for people, but I think certain ones is resonate with certain people, especially when you know the artist, the sound, what you were doing and what that moment was like at a moment in time. I can
Right.
understand that because a lot of people think that Going Crazy probably was your favorite hit, but you was like you wasn't in the studio with Natalie. And to this day, I'm still mad because I'm like, how y'all wouldn't have no album? Like y'all should have done a whole album to get a body of work. I'm just saying, like, it's like, but either way it goes, like you said, you don't physically have to be there. It just relates. And I think that's why I say Going Crazy is relatable to everybody and their mama. So I mean, hell, you had all of us on MySpace. I mean, hell, you created MySpace for all of us, and that's why we still got Instagram and all this stuff to this day. You know, by so I respect that. Much respect. Much respect.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right. So another question I asked, since now we're in the current now, we're going plus 20 years later, 2025, the year of 2025. I wanted to ask you, like, what current projects are you doing right now? I've seen you work with a lot. I seen your daughter, she was singing. I said congratulations on that. Like, how do you feel about that your legacy is still going on? And like what stuff are you trying to do now in this new era of wave of music in 2025?
Current projects I'm working on is definitely one of my babies called the Cookout.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry.
a collective of just independent creators because we're in an independent world now. Major
Mm,
labels aren't running the game anymore. Independents
mm.
are, and so being that I have the knowledge, I have the experience, I have the resume, I'm called to give back now.
Ooh.
So I created an event that empowers and educates independents about this game. So I teach them
Yeah.
about publishing, and I teach them songwriting, and I teach them mental health, and I teach them all these things
Mm.
because you're gonna need all this in this industry. And I
Yes.
teach them about taking advantage of opportunities. So that's what I'm working on. I got all I work on now is independence. I do have a record dropping with Chrisette Michelle, um, probably toward the end of this year. It was supposed to drop last year, but label stuff, da 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 da,
Yeah.
out of my control. But it's a wedding type song, so I have that dropping. But I'm on independence. I'm on independence. My cookout
Mm.
stuff is big for me. I'm working with Perry Jones, working
Mm.
with Justin Martin, working with Brian Angel of Day 26. Those are
Hey.
those are a few of the headliner independents because they're all independent. None of them are signed, and so
Yeah.
that's what I'm working on. I'm working on each one reach one. I'm trying to empower these
Um,
new independents and teach them how to get them a #1 Billboard hit. You dig?
that's
So
right.
yeah.
Oh, boss, I'm proud. And like I said, everything you've done is just amazing. But I want to ask you one last question. If you had, well, since today is the 20th anniversary of Natalie's timeless self-titled debut album, I can't believe 20 years today this
20
album
years.
dropped and the world went crazy.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you had to
man.
start one word about this album or the song, what one word would you describe this album today for 20 years?
Timeless.
Mm,
Timeless, because here we are 20 years later, and it's so many people that are still, like I said, my shout out to Danny Dre and Dre
yeah.
Rawls. She my boy wife, and she just like, oh my god, bots. I did the story, I reshared the story because she was just like, I didn't know, like, bots, this is like
Yeah.
my song. So we 20 years later, that's what makes it's still relevant. And
Yeah.
even though music today is so short, like music is like 2 minutes long. Going
Mm,
crazy like four minutes, and everybody listens to all four.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? Even when I listen to it, after I know the last verse, I done turned. Okay, Natalie, I'm done. That's it. I don't even get to the end
Oh,
part with the ooh, ooh. I don't even get that no more.
I do. Because it brings it in.
So it's timeless, and I'm blessed. I've
Oh,
been blessed to be a part of such a timeless record.
yeah.
And like I said, it helped. I'm here because of that record. Where
Mm.
my career, and I'm forever grateful to everybody who played a part in it. I named y'all earlier, I ain't renaming y'all. I'm just saying, but it's timeless.
Yeah. Well, one word I have to describe it about this album, it is crossover and game changer. Two things.
That's two,
The
but
reason
yeah.
why I say this is because for Natalie, for her, like I said, I mean, with MySpace, I mean, we coming in an era where social media, and I think for us engaging with other people across the world was making waves. Like we had Black Planet, it was cool, but I think when MySpace hit, it was
Black
like,
Planet.
right,
MySpace and Black Planet was not the same thing, man.
no,
You
no,
had kids on MySpace. People on Black Planet was meeting up humping.
right, that part, and then
That's
they
what
was
they
in
told
college.
me. That's what they told me. That's what
You
I
know what's
heard.
funny? But Bots, like I said, it was just a game changer for what you did with social media with Natalie. Oh, he we lost him. For Natalie, it just really changed the game forever because I feel like I said this before, she opened the door for the Cassies, for Paula Deanna. She opened those girls for the new girls that were coming in, that were making way in the 2005, that 2005, 2008 era, what it was. I feel like, with Natalie, with that song, I mean, like I said, the song gave her a cosmetic line going crazy. So for you to even get in the lane of endorsements, she started to make a way for herself. And I know she's opened the door for MySpace and people to make ways to navigate their music through social media. And I thought that was really amazing. For me, like I said, it crossed over because she's coming in with the ballad. Like we wasn't like we were getting ballads because obviously we had We Belong Together, but I think for Natalie to make way with Going Crazy at the summer of '05, like she really ran that era in the summer.
Right.
So when I saw that for myself, I was like, yeah, she's really crossing over. And then the Spanish version comes out. I'm like, wait a minute, now she got a Spanish version, so she's really crossing over. But I feel like what Natalie did for all of us, I mean, she made us resonate and made us sit with our feelings in a beautiful way. Because not even that, she made us understand as young children that you can resonate with music, but like you said, the lyrics speak volumes. And I think with the production, she did that sound. It was just a beautiful melody, even though you said it was for a gospel person. But I think the message was for us to not even that, people make you go crazy, but not even that, you find yourself in music. And no matter what has happened 20 years later, Natalie, like, she's still dope. She's still doing her thing. I wish you and her could really, like, finally meet one day. Hopefully, by we need that meet up.
We're
Because
gonna
I
make it
think for
happen.
y'all, we
We're
need
gonna
a
make it
body
happen.
of work
We're gonna
together.
make it happen. We're gonna make
Yeah,
it happen.
y'all got to. Y'all Houstonians. I mean, ain't no choice. Y'all ain't got no choice.
Thank
Now
you.
it's 20th anniversary. Y'all got to celebrate the whole year out.
I'm gonna reach out to her and we're gonna make it happen just for you.
Oh, and you know what? And I'm gonna let her know too. And then for me on a personal, because even though tomorrow is the anniversary of my friend's death, I mean, if it wasn't for my friend, I wouldn't have got this body of work. And like I said, to this day, it's still a no skip album. I can listen to it, jam to it at some '05. The only thing I'm mad about, we should have got Energy as the second single, because like I said, for me, I think it would have went gold.
I said that too,
I
Charles.
always Bots, I always say that that girl had a run, and because I feel like too we got cheated out of that, I feel like '05 she would have been up there, like with Mariah, Shake It Off, Energy. It would have been perfect. But things happen. But I will say this: I'm happy that your song still resonates 20 years later. And now we can still celebrate and everything for his nature. But I got one last question for you. So, do you have any advice? And I think you kind of gave it, but do you have any advice for up and coming artists that are still trying to become a label or to be independent? What advice do you have for them now in this era 2025?
Don't try to be in the music business and not learn the business of music. Say that
Thank you.
one time because I think I glitched. Don't
Yeah.
want to be in the music business and not learn the business of music. You got to
Mm,
learn the business before you put out a record. It makes no sense
yeah.
people are putting out records without the proper metadata, the proper
Yeah.
ISRC codes, the proper PROs. And if you don't know what a PRO is, DM me and I will teach you the game that I'm talking about. Don't be in the
Preach.
music business and not learn the business of music.
Mm. That's deep. Well, Boz, do you have any last words? What you want to say about your legacy? What your legacy means to you, and not even that? Do you have any words for Natalie and everything for the 20th anniversary today?
Man, Natalie, we did it, dog. We did
Oh,
it. We made a classic. Shout out to
yeah.
I gotta name everybody one more time because it's just Moshe, T. Gray, Guardian, Ladium, Charles Chavez, everybody there. Bruce
Yeah.
Carbone, Universal Records, and everybody,
Mm,
man. But Nat, we did it. Proud of you. Proud to be trusted. But as a producer, artists have to trust you.
yeah.
And even 20 years ago, never meeting, the fact that you trusted me to deliver what we made, which is a classic. I'm excited, man. My legacy, with this record to live on past all of us.
Yeah.
40 years, 50 years from now, they'll still be jamming, going crazy. So I am blessed to be a part of this, and it's only up. You know,
That's it.
I'm still rocking. Natalie don't do music no more. She dancing and things, but
Right.
so
Which
if
I'm
y'all go to
mad.
the if y'all go to the Rockets game, she's the one over the Rockets dancer. So if you see
Mm.
Rockets dancers, that's Natalie. So you'll find her somewhere close by. So, and I appreciate you for the time. Thank you for thinking about and you being on top of your game, knowing that this is 20 years. Like I wouldn't have known unless you brought it to me. So I appreciate you, the opportunity and the space. And so and I'm glad. I'm excited. Hopefully this will, people love watching my interviews because they learn something new about me on
Yeah.
every interview. So I appreciate you.
Oh, well, Bottz, I'm forever grateful for you. And like I said, tomorrow will be the sad passing of my friend 16 years later. I always play Going Crazy and honor her. So you will see it. I'll tag you in it tomorrow. But I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Congratulations on almost, 25 years in the game. You really, really have changed the lane of music. And I know you forever tied to me and Natalie and everything you done, guys. And we are done with my beautiful interview with the legend, the icon himself, 6-time Grammy-nominated producer. Wait a minute, multi-platinum producer. Hold on, I got my
Multi.
multi-platinum. The Houstonian. Look, and he gonna look at the singers and
Yeah.
everything.
We
The
got plaques
Houstonian,
on
the
our
legend.
chest. We got plaques.
There you go. And I saw them like from behind the scenes. So I saw them. So I ain't gonna play with you and your legacy. But not even that, y'all. The 6-time Grammy nominated producer, multi-platinum. I mean, the legend himself, the amazing D-Bots. Thank you so much. God bless you.
You.
Congratulations on
You.
20 years of this beautiful song and the album. And keep us with them hits and let me know when Chris and Michelle drop because I'm gonna support you. I got
I
you.
got you. I got you. We locked. We locked.
Aw, thank you so much. Bye guys. Thank you. Bye.